a great opportunity for having one's sins forgiven. So this is also how they understood it. Also, when it comes to the last part, which is having the gates, the devils chained, they meant by this, and an explanation of this, they said a number of things. Number one, they said that, as a matter of fact, this is going to be the case regarding the Muslim who observes and who maintains the conditions of the validity of the fasting and also the etiquettes and the ethics of fasting. So it is regarding those ones who fulfill all of these criteria and all of these conditions, it is in their regard that the devils are chained. And this understanding is supported also by another statement of the Prophet ﷺ, as he said, "As-sawmu junnatun fala yakhriqha," that fasting serves as a protecting shield against falling into sins. Another also understanding, also put forward by the Muslim scholars, is that what is meant by having the devils chained, this is in reference to the most evil of the devils, but not all of them. So it is in the sense that their influence gets less during the month of Ramadan. And this is something also we can experience. We can see that as people, and I mean Muslims, are fasting the months, they are less likely to do inappropriate thing or any unacceptable behavior.
But the problem,
Yes.
doctor, concerning the conduct is that we do that when fasting, but once we break the fast, Ramadan has become a venue of partying. We have all these entertainment tents, shisha venues, and then it ends up sort of spoiling the spirit of Ramadan. So what's your comment on that and your advice to Muslims during that holy month?
Yes, this is the case also, but I'm also optimistic that more and more knowledge is being disseminated, and now more and more Muslims are being aware of the importance and the significance of the month. And also you can see that, and including Al-Azhar Mosque here, and also the different branches of the Arwiqa at Al-Azhar Mosque, in order to empower the people with knowledge and to what is the right thing to be more productive. Because also another thing that goes with this, which is the fact that the month of Ramadan and fasting during the month of Ramadan, this is a reason for people to become less productive and less active. But this is not actually the case. So number one, we need to read more about the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and how is it he used to observe the month of Ramadan, and how is it he used to instruct the companions to observe and to spend the month of Ramadan in order to get the best out of it. And this is a thing that every Muslim needs to understand, that our lifetime is limited. How much time or how long we are going to be in this life? Is it going to be for 60 years, 80 years, 100 years? Still, it is not enough to really achieve our fullness when it comes to good deeds. I'm not saying that a Muslim is not allowed to have a pleasure time or a leisure time, but the point is always to make sure that whatever you are going to do, spending your time, you will be spending your time wisely and investing in your time. And that even when you are doing something in order to have fun or to amuse yourself, make sure that you are doing something that will not harm your health or will not have a negative impact on your relationships with others. And also when it comes to productivity, as a matter of fact, many people also they develop the habit of staying up all night and eating so much, although the month of Ramadan is the month for rationalizing consumption. But the point is, if it was about fasting, people would feel exhausted by the end of the day, but not at the beginning of the day. So what we need to do is to observe the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, or the guidance of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, how did he used to spend his time wisely and to rationalize consumption, and also to spend his time on productive and beneficial things. A very important,
Yes.
yes, please.
You wanted to say something?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I wanted to say that the month of Ramadan should be seized as a great opportunity to become a better human being. And this is something that we actually observe in day-to-day life. We see that there are those people who seem to be in harmony with themselves, and they have a good and a very good self-esteem about themselves. While there's still, on the other hand, there are those who always feel like they are having a sense of a break of the conscience, and they're always feel guilty that they didn't do the right thing, or what they are doing is not what they were supposed to be doing. So the point here is, and the secret to this is one's willpower. The reason why some people seem to be in harmony with themselves and they set their lives on the right course is they are able to have a strong willpower that works for them. And this is what the month of Ramadan is all about. It is meant for us to train our willpower. So when the Muslim, for the period of 30 days, develops and trains his willpower to stay away from permissible things like food and drink and intimacy with his wife or with between the spouses, while they still during this period they can go against this, but still no, they hold themselves accountable and they give the upper hand to their intellect and to their spiritual entity. And though that their stomachs may be growling, but still they hold themselves and
So
to
it's
the
about
resolution.
taming your nature, the wild
Exactly, yes.
nature, and your
Exactly,
desires.
yes.
Now, I'd like also to ask, being here in this holy place at the
Yes.
Azhar Mosque, does the Azhar Mosque have a special schedule during the holy
Of
months of
course,
Ramadan?
yes, of course, yes. Al-Azhar Mosque now, under the supervision of the Grand Imam and also Dr. Muhammad Mahanna, now the way how the mosque functions is it is divided to arwiqa. So we have a riwaq for the Noble Quran, and it works on a daily basis, and it teaches people Quran according to how much they have memorized and according to the age group. Also, we have the riwaq of the Sharia sciences, and it regularly holds Sharia programs for all levels, for beginners, for intermediate level, and also for the advanced level. Also, we have the riwaq for training and human developments, and it is also regularly holding events and training programs. And also for the non-native Arabic speakers, we have the English Riwaq, which also provides its educational services and also the translation of the Friday sermon, which is no other place in Egypt does, but anyone who is not a native Arabic speaker, both Muslims and non-Muslims, they can come here to Al-Azhar Mosque to attend the Friday sermon. And following the Friday sermon, there is an open discussion and an open workshop for receiving questions and answering them. And also there is a program for new Muslims, which is also done in English and French and in German. It's open, and all of these services are totally for free.
Now, does these services and activities extend to beyond Cairo or beyond
Yes,
this
now
complex? Yeah.
now Al-Azhar Riwaq is opening new branches. Now we have one in Mansoura, another one in being now will be also in Sohag, and also there will be one in Tamba. So it is now expanding, and also in Alexandria. So with the time there will be more and more activities, and of course the preachers of Al-Azhar and the teachers and the imams, they all do hold the sessions and lectures with the people and seminars with the youth and the youth clubs and the cultural centers. So there is a schedule for this, and there is a clear timetable for this, which the preachers also fulfill to the best of their ability.
Now, also the Azhar for a while has been contributing to community service as
Yes.
well as the country's unity within the
Yes.
framework of the call of the
Yes.
Grand Imam Ahmad al-Tayyib in
Yes.
cooperation with the Coptic Church,
Church,
and it
yes.
was an initiative started by Pope Shenouda III,
Yes.
and it's still continuing, which
Yes.
is Beit al-Aila al-Misriya.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Now, would you tell us more about that initiative, please?
Yeah, it started also, as you said, as an initiative by the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar and the ex-Pope Shenouda, and it was meant to primarily to enhance the cooperation and the understanding between the church in Egypt and also Al-Azhar, and in order to solve any problem that may surface right away, in order for it not to ramificate and not to get bigger or anything like this, and also to cooperate regarding education, regarding community services. And this is why there is a different levels of communication in the house itself, and also a variety of committees attending for all of the concerned areas when it comes to education, when it comes to women, when it comes to the media, when it comes to cooperation, and when it comes also to interfaith dialogue. It's great. It's really great, and I was just giving a seminar in the American University here in Cairo about the House of the Egyptian Family as a role model, and it is really a role model that can be followed in many countries in the Arab world and across the globe, of course, pioneered by the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar here and also the Coptic Church in Egypt.
Well, Dr. Hossam Allam, Islamic scholar, thank you very much for this interview and
Thanks so
Ramadan
much for having
Kareem.
me. And most welcome to Al-Azhar Mosque.
Well, and by this we end this segment of Nile Cruise, but we're still continuing with more in celebration of the holy months of Ramadan, so stay tuned.